Hello everyone, my name is Steve Roest. I am the CEO of PocDoc and the host of the HealthTech Hour. PocDoc, obviously, as many people know, revolutionizing the at-home and non-lab-based blood testing pathway, allows anyone with a smartphone to test themselves for a range of diseases. It's not the point of this video. So, as people also may know, I'm an absolute sales and commercial freak. I mentor companies and individuals about this. It's my background. I love talking about it. Never done a video on it until today. So this morning, on BBC News, there was a representative from the Royal College of Nursing talking to the anchors about the strike. The nurses want 19%. The government doesn't want to pay more than 3 or 4%. I think, I don't know. And they were having a talk about it. Now, this is an absolute masterclass of under pressure, how you can avoid what's called negotiating against yourself. Negotiating against yourself is one of the worst things that you can do in any kind of commercial or even in a life situation, which is to say the person on the other side, the counterparty, says your offer is too expensive or your price is too high. What can you move it down to? Well, your price is your price. So if you at that point communicate to them that you're willing to accept a lower price, what's to say that if they wait longer, you won't move it down again and again? It completely undermines the credibility of your position. You need a position, and that's your position. You justify that position. As far as the other side is concerned, they have to believe that there is no fallback position, that you want, in this instance, 19%. Anyway, so the representative from the nurses actually opened the door to this because she said, which isn't great, she said, well, this is, of course, our opening position. At which point, we join the clip, and the news anchor says, well, if that's your opening position, what's your fallback position? Now, it's at this point that the masterclass begins. Now, you've got to understand this is a nurse, not necessarily media trained, on live national TV. And she absolutely smashes it. She does two things, which are key sales skills. The first thing is she creates a relative situation to establish that this is not what the person is talking about. So she creates a different paradigm for people to understand this 19%. And she says it beautifully, which is, this is not a 19% pay rise. This is getting us back to zero. So you've completely knocked the other side's argument out of the water at that point, which is to say, no. We're not asking for a pay rise. We're just asking to go back to zero. Brilliant. Second thing she does is that she puts an argument out there which cannot be countered, which is not central to the argument about the price, but she distracts and she creates a separate tangent to move the discussion onto a separate thread where the Royal College of Nursing and their members are completely unassailable, which is beautiful. You can't argue against this, which is to say, we would welcome any member of the government to come and work for our pay under our conditions. Fantastic. What are they going to do? They can't argue against that. So you've created, at one point, you've reduced the value, the monetary value of this 19%. You've changed the perception of it from a pay rise to just bringing people up to zero. Framing, that's called. You've reframed the debate, reframed the price. And the second thing is you've established a separate line of attack, which is unassailable by your counterparty. Anyway, here endeth the lesson. Congratulations to the representative from the Royal College of Nursing. Tuesday's masterclass. Here we go. Sorry, supplemental. She does one further thing, which is very clever, which is when pressed on it, she says, this is not my decision. She elevates it, not just to an individual, but to a whole group of members, which is to say, the decision on accepting an offer is nothing to do with me. Therefore, I cannot comment on your question about what we would be willing to go down to, because it's not my responsibility. Thank you. Just wanted to add that on extra. Enjoy the clip. Bye.
And that's what our chief exec is saying when you talk to us. Simply because the 19% represents the fact that nurses are 20% behind in real terms. So it's not a pay award that's bringing us 19% above anybody else. It's actually restoring nurses and their pensions and everything else back to where it should be after 11 plus years of pay austerity.
At the moment, though, that number, that 19% number, is giving Steve Barclay the opportunity to say that's far too big a number, isn't it? And therefore I will not negotiate. Let's talk about the numbers. I know this is a starting point. What is the next number you think that people might be prepared to go
To
to?
be perfectly honest, that needs to be decided by our members. You know, it's not for us to set any agenda on this one. And if 19% is a big number for Mr. Barclay and the government, they should try living without that 19% in the household income for the work that their nurses do and the hours that they work delivering the care that they do with dwindling numbers of staff. So it works both ways. 19% minus 19% is an awfully big number.